Good morning, everyone. This morning I'm going to make macadamia nut cheese. And I thought you might want to see how I make it. The recipe was given to me by a friend when I first had to go dairy-free, and it's made a really big difference in my life. It's very simple. So, what you're going to need is 1 cup of macadamia nuts. You don't have to do this in a food processor. For many years, when I didn't have a food processor, I used the blender and it worked just fine. So the 1 cup of macadamia nuts and 1 onion. Since I have used raw macadamia nuts instead of roasted, I'm going to need to add a little bit of salt. I'm also going to add oil as well, but I'm going to do that as I need it. So I'm going to start with just these 2 ingredients along with the salt and see where that takes me. And then I'll add the oil. Okay, I want to show you what it's looking like at the stage. Right now the nuts are just getting chopped up with the onion. Okay, you can see I'm getting more to the stage I want. This happens very, very quick. It's not difficult at all. At this stage, I'm going to add in a little bit of oil, but not much. I'm going to eyeball it, but I'm going to guess it's going to be about 2 tablespoons or so. I'm going to pour it in really slow. This is what I use in place of ricotta cheese. I want you to be able to see this really well. So I'm going to pull out the scraper. You see that? You can use it the exact same way that you use ricotta cheese in recipes. One variation that I really like to do is to do some roasted garlic in the oven and then add it to this. It's incredible. But to keep it simple today, I thought I would just show you the very basic recipe. So now we're going to make some lasagna using that sauce I showed you how to make last week. This is what the sauce turned out like, or what it turns out like. It's a crock pot spaghetti sauce. It's one you can put very few ingredients into a crock pot, leave it alone all day, and come back to freshly made spaghetti sauce. If you would like this recipe, please go to my blog at www.truethingsblog.wordpress.com. I give instructions on there for how to make this, but I'm going to use this today in the lasagna. So I'm going to start by putting down a little bit of sauce into the pan. You can see that I'm not making very much this morning. It's just going to be my husband and I for lunch, so I don't need to make a lot. This would be great for somebody who's making portions for themselves to have leftovers too. Although you can do the exact same thing, just, you know, more ingredients if you're cooking for a family. Right, I'm using a gluten-free pasta because I'm on a gluten-free diet. This is a rice lasagna, and it's a no-boiling, oven-ready lasagna, which is incredible. I'm trying this for the first time, so we'll see how this goes. I am vegetarian, and so my lasagna is going to be vegetarian. But you could do anything you want with yours. Alright, so at this stage, I'm going to take a little bit more sauce. I'm putting a lot of sauce in mine because of it not being a boil lasagna. You have to add a little bit more fluid to it. Helps to soak in the noodles. Alright, and then I'm going to put some of my amazing macadamia nut cheese in. I'm just going to spread this on pretty heavy, since I'm only doing a couple layers. Make sure you mix it in so it's covering all of your noodles. Alright, I've got some frozen organic spinach I'm going to add. I'm not going to bother to defrost it because of my noodles being oven-ready noodles. I want more liquid here in this lasagna. I want those noodles to absorb it. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the next two noodles. Trying to get them to fit inside my bread pan. I'll have to pick this stuff up later. Alright, do the same thing again. Just cover the noodles pretty generously. I'm going to add in my macadamia nut cheese. If you're going to do a larger lasagna, I would suggest doing a double batch of the macadamia nut cheese. And you don't have to use as much as I used. You know, if you're just trying it out for the first time, see if you like it. You could add other things to your lasagna instead. Alright, so now I'm going to add spinach. All of my ingredients are organic. That's really important to me, is eating organic, and so I try to save money by planning meals out for the week. And it seems to do really, I seem to do really well with that. As you can see, it's not very hard to cook the way that I cook. And it doesn't have to be expensive to use organic ingredients. You just have to not go into the food co-op or store hungry. That makes a big difference. Make sure you go in there with a full stomach. Otherwise, you're going to walk out with all kinds of incredible things. Just can't help it. I certainly have that happen to me a lot. Sometimes that's how I come up with my new recipes. Is finding new things in the store that I've never seen before. Alright, I'm going to add a tiny bit of water to this just to make sure that those noodles soak up the liquid. Just going to pour it over the top. Alright, and now, this is not cheese. This is a homemade vegan mozzarella that I've made using the Dairy Evolution cookbook. You should really check it out. If you're having to go dairy-free, there is nothing worse than a lot of these vegan cheeses you see in the store. They're just inedible. This, however, tastes like cheese, looks like cheese, and acts like cheese. Let me show you. You see that? Acts exactly like mozzarella cheese. It melts too. It melts the same way. You can take, he has all kinds of cheese recipes in his book, and you can take them and you can make things that you're used to eating. And it's vegan. And really surprisingly easy to make. Maybe I'll do a video another time showing you how easy it is to make. I won't give out his recipe because it's not my own, but I'll show you how easy it is to make, so if you're considering buying his book, you might do that. Alright,